What's up, photo friends? How's everybody doing? Thought I would come outside to travel back in time. So as I've traveled back in time, it's 2010 and I put my hands on an Olympus Tough camera, the 8010. And so, little backstory how this came into my possession. So my dad was cleaning out his studio and came across the camera. I spied the box kind of in the corner and was like, what do you have there, friend? And he was like, oh, there's this camera that I think I got for you a long time ago, but I never gave it to you. So here I have the camera. So what I'm gonna do real quick is just kind of, so this is, obviously a 14-year-old camera at this point, point and shoot, and part of Olympus's Tough lineup. So Olympus's Tough lineup is currently a camera lineup that Olympus sells for outdoor enthusiasts and adventure people because it's freeze-proof, it's crush-proof, it's drop-proof, you can submerge it underwater, it's a sealed camera, it has image stabilization, it has this insane macro mode, like a super macro mode, and I've used one of the more modern Tough cameras and had a really amazing experience with it. So this has been fun, to say the least. I've been shooting with it now for about a week. So let's kind of get into it. So the back of the camera itself, pretty straightforward. This does have a 5x zoom, so our optical kind of equivalents are 28 to 140. So that's a lot of focal length to play around with. Has a built-in LED light in addition to a flash. The lens itself is kind of upper left on the face of the camera, and when I activate the camera, a door opens to reveal the lens itself. You've got like over 29 shooting modes on this particular camera, and it does offer image stabilization. The thing about it is it's got a 1/2 inch 14 megapixel sensor that produces a result that feels very digital nostalgic digital, early, this again 14 years ago is kind of a while back. And so our images, I'm going to be totally honest, what I like about the camera is that it's a challenge for me to feel like I'm shooting good images. So I try to feel more invested in the process and patient with the camera because it's not fast. It's a slow rig. But it does have a lot of really great, all of those features that I talked about, it being very durable and very rugged, does make it a great piece of equipment because, you're pressed to do damage. But she's not a fast rig in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like what I have to do is shoot at a very low ISO, because as I push the ISO, the images are pretty kind of like mushy. But as I push the ISO up, they become like crazy mushy. So I want to really work on that low end of the ISO spectrum. Really basic back build. Screen is fixed. I do find it an interesting camera to kind of shoot with because I tend to be a person who wants to hold the camera up to my face to compose. So this is really just a live view experience. I really had to kind of spend time thinking about where my digits are on the camera so I don't put my fingers in front of the lens, these types of things. But it's pretty evident when I am looking at the back of the camera, okay, my finger's in the frame, so I knew that, right? Menu system, pretty easy. You get a lot of information on the back of the camera itself, helping you know kind of how you're shooting, what mode you're in, what your ISO is, all kinds of information. It can be very packed with info on the back of the screen, or you can keep it very minimal. You have wide angle and telephoto buttons on the back as well. And then the way that you access all of the ports in the battery and the memory card, and it charges battery in camera, is via a door on the side of the camera, which is sealed. So it's really important that you're mindful if you're going to submerge the camera to make sure that that seal is seated, and it's a two-step process. There's a switch and a toggle to kind of lock the back. It has a cute wrist strap, love a wrist strap, as I think everybody knows. But yeah, it's a really interesting camera and has been fun to shoot with from the standpoint, again, that I'm talking about, which is that I have to be patient and intentional with shooting with it because it is the age that it is. So if you are a person who's looking for kind of like an old school, without it being super old school, very durable point and shoot, and you like the idea of your images having that kind of digital nostalgia that I'm talking about, could be a great camera. It's a pretty sexy rig, I'm not gonna lie. I like the aesthetic of the build of the camera itself. Fingerprint magnet, okay, the front here, which my kids are like, oh, it's so that you can take selfies, which it does work for that. It's just a really bright silver and fingerprints just get all over that guy. But yeah, I don't know, shoots 720 HD also video if you want to shoot some old nostalgic video. So if digital nostalgia is your jam, this could be a great camera for you. I find it fine and it's fun, but I don't feel like it would be a camera that I personally would reach for to take out into the field. But I do like the way that it came into my world, and I do enjoy shooting with it, but I feel like really my senior in high school has more of an affection for it, and that totally makes sense. So he's going to be shooting with it a lot, I think. I'll be shooting with it some. Anyway, so yeah, 8010 Tough, circa 14 years ago. It's fun, but it requires a lot of patience is the bottom line. Hope everybody's having a good one, and I'll catch up with everybody again soon. Peace out.